Hello friends, welcome to Geo Friend. This is a lecture number 1 for igneous geology CUT exam. So let's start igneous geology. Uh, Syllabus is petrology. Igneous petrology is magma's definition, magma's composition, type and origin, form of igneous rock, texture of igneous rock, reaction principle, differentiation and assimilation, crystallization of unit component and bicomponent mixed crystal system, woven reaction series, mineralogical and chemical classification of igneous rock, and detailed petrographic description of granite, granodiorite, rhyolite, syenite, phonolite, diorite, gabbro process, and this is a interest part is sedimentary and metamorphic. In this lecture, we cover igneous geology. So first off is what is magma. Magma, despite being the most important concept in igneous petrology, cannot be directly observed, collected or experimented. Magma is a hot, flood or semi-flood material from which igneous rock is formed on cooling. In other words, molten rock, mixture of melt and any crystal that may be suspended from it. Volcanoes or mid-oceanic ridge. All igneous rocks that have crystallized before huge amount of magma that come from somewhere beneath the earth. Earth interior crust. Continental crust is 20 to 70 kilometer. Average thickness is 40 kilometer. And rheological subdivision is lithosphere. Lithosphere is equal to crust plus upper mantle, and then is common asthenosphere, asthenosphere, and then mesosphere, upper part of outer core. Continental crust 40 to 70 kilometer and average thickness is 40 kilometer, and heterogeneous average composition is granodiorite. Lower crust is mafic and upper crust is felsic. Most dominant mineral in crust is plagioclase. Oceanic crust average thickness is 7 किलोमीटर. इसके टॉप ओशियनिक क्रिस्ट के टॉप पर जो मिलता है वो पैलेजिक सेडिमेंट होते हैं जिसकी एवरेज 0.5 किलोमीटर तक मिल जाता है, 500 मीटर तक. इसके बाद आता है पिलो लावास एंड सीट लावा बेसाल्ट और सीटेड डाइक्स, गैब्रो आइजोट्रॉपिक, गैब्रोलेट कुमुलेट, अल्ट्रामैफिक कुमुलेट, एंड देन सबसे बॉटम में जो होता है वो अल्ट्रामैफिक टेक्टोनिक्स. अर्थ इंटीरियर में मेंटल पाते हैं. मेंटल पेरिडोइट टू ओलिवन रिच रॉक. दिस इज अ ट्रांजिशन जोन दैट ओलिवन चेंज टू perovskite. So mantle is cover peridotite to olivine rich rock. Average composition is mantle is flexible in composition. Upper mantle is depleted and lower mantle is primitive. Silica percent is 45% and Al2O3% is 3.3%. Mg is 38.11%. CO is 3.1%. Average composition is based on analysis as mental xenolith, meteorite density and geophysical data. Upper mental is density is 27.5%, जो कि एक्सटेंड होती है मोहो डिसकंटिन्यूटी 660 किलोमीटर तक, 410 किलोमीटर से 660 किलोमीटर तक. यहाँ पर ओलिविन चेंज होता है वेडलेसाइट, ओलिविन चेंज इनटू वेडलेसाइट. Lower mental density is 55.5%, extend from 660 km to 2900 km. At 606 km, ringwoodite to change perovskite plus magnesio brasite. Upper mantle is deflated 220 km to 410 km. Lower mantle primitive 660 km to 2900 km. Depleted the upper mantle or depleted and primitive in term of incompetent element. Earth interior core. कोर इस डेंसिटी इज 16%, जिसमें 80% आयरन प्लस 5.6% निकेल अलॉय रहते हैं, प्लस 10 to 15% लाइट एलिमेंट. Composition is based on iron material density and seismic velocity data. Outer core is liquid or inner core is pressure effect. Inner core is solid. Convection in the outer core is believed to be the source of Earth magnetic field. There is a strong temperature gradient at the core. Mantle boundary may be the source of plumes. So next topic is where is magma produced. So, molten rock thrown out of volcanoes on the Earth's surface, that's called is lava, rise to great heat within the Earth. However, the Earth is not molten inside as shown by seismic data. So most of the mantle and crust are solid, not liquid. Thus magma must be specifically made in particular places. Some rock of crust or mantle must melt to produce magma. Pressure and temperature affected melting of rock within the earth. What is composition of magma? So most magma is rich in silica and rare non-silicate can form by melting of non-silicate mineral deposit. Silicate magmas are molten mixture dominated by oxygen and silicon and smaller quantity of aluminium, calcium, magnesium, iron, sodium, potassium. What type of magma? So magmas are four in type. फर्स्ट वन इज फेल्सिक, जिसको सिलेसिक मैग्मा बोलते हैं. इन दिस मैग्मा मैग्मा का परसेंटेज ग्रेटर देन 63%. ट्रायोलिटिक एंड डेसाइटिक मैग्मा, these are extremely viscous because silica percent is high. And then intermediate magma, intermediate or andesitic magma contain 52 to 63% silica percent and are lower in aluminium and usually somewhat richer in magnesium and iron than felsic magma. Intermediate lavas form andesite domes and block lavas and may occur on steep composite volcanoes such as in the Andes. And third type is mafic magma or basaltic magma. Have a silica high content 52 to 45%. They are typified by their ferromagnesian content because इसमें आयरन कंटेंट ज़्यादा होता है, आयरन और मैग्नीशियन कंटेंट, इसलिए इसको फेरोमैग्नीशियन कंटेंट कहते हैं. एंड जनरली इरप्ट एट लो विस्कोसिटी. ये लो विस्कोसिटी का रहता है क्योंकि इसमें सिलिका परसेंट कम रहता है और इसकी वजह से सील्ड वॉल्केनो और फ्लड बेसाल्ट बनते हैं. फोर्थ वन इज अल्ट्रा मैफिक मैग्मा, पेक्ट्रिक बेसाल्ट that form bonite silica content under 45% and very low viscosity. Then last one is alkaline magma, content of alkali metal, oxide, sodium, potassium in region of continental rising areas overlying deeply subducted plate or at intraplate hotspot, ultramafic silica content. Magma differentiation, the process by which magma is split into parts having different composition is called differentiation. These parts on cooling and solidification produce different type of rocks. It takes place during cooling of magma. Process of differentiation, liquid immiscibility. First, liquid immiscibility is a mixture of two different composition may be homogeneous at a temperature, but with the falling temperature both of them become immiscible. A magma may split up into two immiscible liquid like oil and water and give rise to different kind of rock. Second one is fractional crystallization. As soon as magma start crystallizing, different begin. It is done in two ways. First, through localization of crystallization, and second, relative movement of crystal and liquid. Second is relative movement of crystal and liquid. Third one is gravity settling. Heavy crystal form during early phase of crystallization sink down. ग्रेविटी क्रिस्टलाइजेशन में ये होता है जो हायर डेंसिटी के मिनरल्स रहते हैं वो सिंक डाउन हो जाते हैं. द एंड द प्रोसेस ऑफ सिंकिंग इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय विस्कोसिटी ऑफ मैग्मा एंड शेप size density of crystal settling of crystal under effect of gravity is an effective process of differentiation. Fourth one is gaseous transfer. With the release of pressure, magmatic upward gases and volatile compound tend to migrate upward in the direction as less in pressure. This generates convection, transfer of heat, and causes separation or differentiation. Fifth one is filter processing. Fifth one is filter processing. When pressure acts on crystallizing magma, it is separate residual flood and crystalline mass. It results in separation of flood from solid phase, residual flood crystallize and from new of rock differentiation. Next topic is assimilation of magma. Magma, while rising up toward the Earth's surface, can engulf fragments of country rock pre-existing through which it passes. If these fragments are digested by the magma, the process is called assimilation. If they are not digested, they remain entrapped within the mass of crystallized magma. Such entrapped fragments of country rock are called xenolith. Assimilation involves remixing of rock in the magma. It may be considered a reverse process of differentiation. Assimilation causes variation in composition of rock. Igneous rock containing partially digested xenolith are called hybrid rock. In hybrid rock, mutual reaction takes place between xenolith and involving acid. Magma is basified. If acid, the magma is basified, and basic magma is known as acidified. Next topic is form of igneous rock. These are two types: extrusive igneous rock and intrusive igneous rock. Extrusive igneous is above the surface. Volcanic or extrusive igneous rock from which, when molten elements erupt from Earth interior through a volcanic vent or fissure and cool rapidly at the surface. Second, intrusive igneous form. Intrusive igneous rock is formed from solidified magma below the surface of the Earth. Magma is a naturally occurring molten mobile rock material generated within the Earth's surface. Form of igneous rock. Igneous rock are extrusive and intrusive. These are formed. Extrusive are lava flow and pyroclastic deposit. Pyroclastic deposit. Under the pyroclastic deposit, agglomerate, lapilli and volcanic tuff. And intrusive igneous form are concordant, discordant. Concordant are parallelly of country rock, and discordant are across the country rock. Concordant are sills, lapolith, and facolith. And discordant are dike, ring dike, volcanic neck, volcanic pipe, and batholith. And other form are channelith, multiple intrusion, composite intrusion. Type of igneous rock. Igneous rock are three types: plutonic rock, coarse grained rock. Hypabassal rock are both coarse and fine grained rock. Volcanic rock are surface rock, fine grained rock, because volcanic rock जो होती है वो अर्थ सरफेस पे आ जाने से सडनली कूलिंग हो जाती है, इसलिए वो फाइन ग्रेन होते हैं. प्लूटोनिक आर स्लोली कूलिंग. टेक्सचर ऑफ igneous rock. टेक्सचर ऑफ igneous rock is defined by hand specimen. जो हम हैंड स्पेसिमेन में रॉक देखते हैं उनको हम डिफाइन करते हैं. The first one is phenolitic. The majority of crystal that are rock are readily visible with the naked eye. Are great size is greater than 0.1 millimeter. It crystallizes slowly beneath the surface of Earth, plutonic or intrusive. Second one is aphanetic. Most of crystal are too small, readily with the naked eye, less than 0.1 millimeter. It crystallizes rapidly at the Earth's surface and may be called volcanic or extrusive. Then third one is fragmental. Rock composed of pieces of disaggregated igneous material deposit and later amalgamated result of a volcanic explosion or collapse and are collectively called pyroclastic. The grain size of phenolitic rock. Fine grain are less than 1 millimeter diameter, uh, like sugar granules. Medium grain are 1 to 5 millimeter diameter, sugar to pea-sized. Coarse grain are 5 to 50 millimeter, and very coarse are greater than 50 millimeter diameter. Crystallinity are holocrystalline, means well developed crystal, and hemicrystal, both crystal and glass are present in a rock. Holohaline means entire glass are present, a phenolitic rock. Development of crystal euhedral. All crystal are equal developed, means all are developed crystal faces are developed. Subhedral are partially developed. Anhedral absent crystal face. Equidiamonds are equally developed in every direction. Example leucite. And tabular are two direction developed like feldspar, and prismatic is one direction like hornblende. Some rock are classified as phenolitic and aphanetic. Phenolitic rock are equigranular of uniform grain size. Equigranular are under the equigranular. First one is palladiomorphic. Majority of crystal are euhedral, rare, found in lamprophire. Lamprophire are have a palladiomorphic porphyritic texture. This texture is imparted by clinopyroxene, olivine, and biotite, set in ground mass of feldspar and spinel. Lamprophire are ultra basic and basic alkaline rock. They have a chemical composition of SiO2 in the range of 35 to 48% and Na2 plus K2O up to 30%. Hypidiomorphic subhedral granite and electromorphic is anhedral applied. Anechogranular. Anechogranular are texture. There are two sizes of grain are present in a rock. First one is porphyritic. Two dominant grain size that vary by a significant amount. The texture called porphyritic. Larger crystal enclosed by smaller ones. The larger crystals are called phenocrust, and finer crystals are referred to as groundmass. Then poiklotic, a smaller crystal enclosed by larger ones. Host crystals are known as oikocrust and matrix known as chalcocrust of it. Then falcipheric, ground mass is cryptocrystalline, and mesostasis is ground mass is hemicrystalline. Composition of the composition of rock may refer either to its chemical composition or the proportion of mineral in it. Felsic, feldspar plus silica are less than 40% dark color mineral. Intermediate 40 to 70% dark color mineral, and mafic magnesium plus ferric iron 70 to 90% dark color mineral. Ultramafic are greater than 90% dark color mineral. Leucocritic are light colored rock and melanocritic are dark colored rock. Acidic are 66 greater than 66 beta% of silica, known as acidic rock. Acidic magma. Intermediate are 52 to 66 beta% silica percent, and basic 55 5 to 52 weight percent of silica, and then ultra basic are less than 45 weight percent of silica percent. Thank you guys, this lecture is over here. Then lecture is commence rest lecture in second class.